Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. A 2-month-long investigation by the Hazleton Police Department Narcotics Unit led to an arrest in West Hazleton on Monday. The Narcotics Unit, as part of the Luzerne County Drug Task Force, obtained a felony warrant for Daniel Ortiz and a search warrant for the residence on East Broad Street. During that search, detectives say they found over 30 grams of cocaine, almost $15,000, and a stolen handgun. Ortiz was taken into custody and arraigned on 4 felony counts of delivery of a controlled substance, cocaine, and 2 felony counts of criminal use of a communication facility, cell phone used in the commission of a crime. His bail was set at $150,000, and he is currently housed at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility. Additional charges are pending. A McAdoo woman is facing charges after police say she repeatedly misused 911. Pennsylvania State Police in Frackville say 32-year-old Kelsey Kurtz made more than 20 calls to Schuylkill and Luzerne County 911 centers between September 3rd and September 16th, most of which did not involve any type of real emergency. In several cases, Kurtz reportedly falsely claimed her boyfriend needed help when he did not, and during one call, she allegedly claimed her rapid heartbeat was caused by the nude photos she had sent him. Kurtz is now charged with misuse of a 911 system and disorderly conduct. Her case has been filed with District Judge Edward Tarantelli in Frackville, with a preliminary hearing set for October 22nd. A former Tamaqua police officer has pleaded guilty on September 24th to charges involving soliciting sexual content from a minor and engaged in sexual activity with animals while employed by the borough. Christopher J. Cordes was first arrested in 2024 after investigators with the State Attorney General's office accused him of possessing child sexual abuse material and having sexual contact with dogs. He was suspended without pay and later fired from the Tamaqua Police Department. The case was investigated by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office and the Department of Homeland Security. A judge has ordered a pre-sentencing investigation likely to wrap up by November 20th. Furthering into yesterday's story, police responded to a shooting Sunday that took place in a gated community known as the Hideout in Wayne County. The accused 26-year-old shooter, Lucas Aaron Gartrell, managed to injure his parents, Robert and Lisa Gartrell. Gartrell's parents were flown to the hospital for surgery and are now in stable condition. Lucas Gartrell was investigated further and was discovered to have a history of mental health issues, and according to his mother, he is bipolar. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, October 1st at 9:00 a.m. The shooting also resulted in the death of the community's 55-year-old security officer, Jose Alberto Duran Jr. The community is now in mourning for the fallen officer, as residents felt safe in Duran's presence. Not all the people knew Duran personally, but they were all aware of his main duty of protection. 2 Luzerne County-owned properties could soon be up for sale. The county's real estate committee has voted to recommend selling the Broad Street Business Exchange building in downtown Hazleton, along with a vacant building on West Union Street in Wilkes-Barre. The Hazleton property, appraised at just over $2 million, has multiple tenants, including Luzerne County Community College and several other businesses. The county took ownership in 2009 after the previous owner defaulted on loans and taxes. County leaders say there has already been interest in both properties from potential buyers. Coming up on WYLN News, an autographed photo of 2 Hall of Famers has been stolen and police want your help finding the suspect. Plus, we'll tell you about how one local fire company will start paying some of their firefighters. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, part of Jefferson Health. If you were saved by the bell and made epic mixtapes, it's time for a mammogram. Screenings help find breast cancer early when it's more treatable. Schedule today at lvhn.org/mammo.
My name's Jackson. Looks like it's sunny tomorrow.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts. just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus. With exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
PPW High Voltage is back. Join us for all the hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action that only PPW Wrestling can bring you. Join us each and every week as we bring you the action from the Slatington Expo Center, Saturdays at 4:30, Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. PPW Wrestling, the best in independent wrestling.
This week's episode of Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to have a guest, Claudine, and we're going to talk about her experience with chiropractic and some of her personal experience with autoimmune diseases.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A key figure in the Luzerne County Kids for Cash scandal is back in federal court, this time over tax evasion charges. Robert Powell pleaded guilty last year to evading taxes tied to millions in legal fees from his former law firm in Luzerne County. He faces up to 5 years in prison, but his sentencing has been delayed while prosecutors and defense attorneys argue over how much he actually owes. Federal prosecutors say the tax loss tops $7 million. However, Powell's attorney says that it is far less. U.S. District Judge Maliki Mannion has recently warned that his failure to comply could initiate an obstruction of justice and may increase his punishment. Powell previously served prison time for his role in the Kids for Cash scandal. Prosecutors say he paid $770,000 in kickbacks to former county judges Michael Conahan and Mark Cia Varela, who placed juveniles into private detention centers co-owned by Powell. Wilkes-Barre Township Police are looking for a man they are calling the NEPA Duck Dynasty C. Robertson. The man is wanted for stealing an autographed photo of Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle that has an estimated value of $800 from a store in the Wyoming Valley Mall. Police are asking anybody with information to contact them at 570-208-4635, extension 394, or send a private message to their Facebook page. A local animal shelter will be getting an upgrade. The SPCA has acquired the former Dundee Gardens property on the Sanssouci Parkway in Hanover. Their plan involves designing a shelter that serves their operation more efficiently and effectively, to better care for animals in need and provide shelter for those waiting for their permanent homes. If you're interested in learning more or to support the organization, visit spcaluzernecounty.org. Valley Regional Fire and Rescue Chief Bryce Dalrymple announced that the fire company will soon start paying firefighters. Dalrymple will start paying 2 firefighters per day to respond to calls along with the volunteers for the station. Valley Regional, located in Drums, also covers Butler Township and Conningham as well as the other local towns. On top of that, they also respond to calls on routes 80 and 81. Of those Valley Regional offered part-time paid positions to, most work for other fire departments full-time and are also trained to work as emergency medical technicians or paramedics on an ambulance. There will be a public hearing to take out a loan for $920,235, scheduled for October 2nd at 1 o'clock p.m. at the fire station. Join WYLN TV35 News for the high school football season, as the games will be broadcasted live to watch at home, on TV, or on YouTube. On the coming Fridays, starting September, the Hazleton area Cougars will be facing off against various teams in an arena made up of mild violence and grace, just like the NFL players do in the most popular sport in United States broadcasting. Following the last broadcasted game against the Berwick Bulldogs, the Cougars will be facing the Crestwood Comets. Feel free to even attend the home games at the Harmon Geist Memorial Field at 175 North Wyoming Street, Hazleton. The games commence every Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. and will be broadcast every Saturday and Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. The games will also be saved in the live section of the WYLN TV35 YouTube channel for those who missed the rebroadcasts. Coming up on Butler Township's News Choice, Trooper Anthony Petrosky is back with another segment of Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, WYLN historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with part 2 of Summit Hill. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Contact Pete Kasalika for a home and auto quote today.
I've got to keep control.
Celebrate the 50th year of the Rocky Horror Show with the Nuremberg Community Players.
Better wise up, get it wise. Picture show.
Join the Nuremberg Community Players on October 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the Rocky Horror Show. Tickets are only $15. Make your reservations fast before this show sells out.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Cooking rice just isn't nice. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Rice Robot, the 1, 2, 3 rice cooker. Watch. 1, add the white cup for rice. 2, add the blue cup for water. 3, click it and let Rice Robot perfectly cook it.
The secret is Perfect Cook technology that surrounds the rice with controlled heat for even cooking. Then Rice Robot senses when it's done, auto stops, and keeps it warm to serve.
It won't burn, overcook, or undercook, guaranteed.
And rice is just the beginning. Make mac and cheese, frittatas, oatmeals, soups and stews, even ramen dishes. And with a ceramic, ultra non-stick interior, cleanup's a breeze.
Get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. Order now.
1-800-640-8545.
Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another segment of Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Trooper and Public Information Officer. Today I'm here to talk to you about identity theft. Now, identity theft is when somebody obtains your name and date of birth and they apply for things like loans, credit cards, different things in your name where you get the bill and they get all the good stuff. So how do you prevent things like this? Well, number one, shred all of the papers that have your sensitive material on it. Name, date of birth, social security number, credit card information. I know a lot of people like to keep records. Paperwork from 10, 15 years ago. A rule of thumb is 3 to 5 years you keep your paperwork as far as taxes and things like that. Anything else, get rid of. Now, don't just crumble these documents up, because if it goes out to the end of the driveway for garbage day and a bear comes through, rips open your garbage, all these papers can be strewed all throughout the streets having your sensitive information. Burn these documents or shred them. That's the safe way to discard this sensitive information. If you think you're a victim of identity theft, you can place a fraud alert on all of your accounts. You could put a hold on your credit cards, ask your credit card company to issue new cards if the other ones, if you think they are compromised. Also, ways to prevent this. Again, getting rid of your materials that you don't need anymore. They're not important. Be cautious with your credit cards. Be cautious with what you buy on the internet. Anytime you enter your information on the internet, it could be easily sold to a third-party seller, meaning you enter your name, your date of birth, your credit card, that company can actually sell that to somewhere else. It could end up going to hackers that could sell that to black market companies. You know, a lot of things can happen. So be cautious with what you're buying online, where you're buying this. Only assign one credit card for online purchases. This way, you know if it's compromised, it's only that one credit card and not all of the credit cards that you have. So again, that can help you in the long run. If you think you are a victim of identity theft, contact your local law enforcement agency who can do an investigation and hopefully make an arrest and get your credit back on where it should be. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time here on Trooper Talk Tuesday.
It's cold out there. Call S.J. Kowalski for the best products and solutions to help lower your energy costs and keep your family safe and comfortable this winter. Our professional team has unparalleled experience with all the latest innovative types of heating systems. We're a Lennox Premier dealer, installing high-quality equipment, providing the ultimate experience in comfort and climate control while being energy efficient. S.J. Kowalski, heating and cooling the way the earth intended.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35. It's high school football time on Wyln TV 35. Check out the game of the week and join the entire Wyln sports team as they bring live high school football to you. Watch over the air in Hazleton at 35.1, Berwick at 47.1, or Williamsport at 9.1, or Service Electric Cable, Channel 7 or 507, or online. The game of the week is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Comebacks begin here.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns. By the late 1850s, America was starting to head west, believing its destiny lay in colonizing the western half of the North American continent. Among those that made the journey was Samuel McLean, who had been born in Summit Hill in 1826. A graduate of Easton's Lafayette College, McLean began his career as a lawyer in Mock Chunk. He would be Carbon County's chief prosecutor from 1855 to 1860 before deciding to head out west. By 1860, he was in Colorado, then known as Jefferson Territory, where he'd be named Territorial Attorney General. 2 years later, he moved again to what is today Montana, where he'd be wounded in action against Native American fighters several times as a militia commander. While he was there, the Montana Territory, comprising essentially today's state of Montana, was formed on May 26, 1864. Samuel McLean was subsequently named the new territory's first representative in Congress. He took office in Washington on January 6, 1865, and served one term through March 3, 1867, after which he decided not to run for re-election. Instead, McLean would start his own silver mining company. Eventually, he would head back east to Virginia, where he purchased a plantation near Burkeville. It was there that Samuel McLean died in 1877, and is there where he rests today in Burkeville's Presbyterian Churchyard Cemetery. Montana remained a federal territory until it was admitted to the Union as the 41st state on November 8, 1889. Back in Summit Hill, at the time McLean was making a name for himself, the town was preparing for the Civil War. The primary unit in town was the Carbon Guards, headed by Captain J.J. Winterstein. They would gather their weapons at the Summit Hill Armory, which was built in 1854, both as an armory and a town jail. After many years in its capacity as an armory, the building was purchased by Summit Hill Borough in 1890 as a town hall. A firehouse was then added as an annex to the building. On March 25, 1908, the armory burned to the ground, the victim of an overheated stove inside. The stones from the building would be reused for Lansford Citizens Bank. A new firehouse would be built in the armory's old site afterwards. It stood until 2008, when it was replaced with a more modern firehouse. Throughout the 1860s and 1870s, alleged Molly Maguire violence rocked the coal region. The unrest would burst over into Summit Hill on December 4, 1871, when Morgan Powell, assistant superintendent of the Lehigh Wilkes-Barre Coal and Iron Company, would be shot dead in the street. Ultimately, Alexander Campbell, Jack Donahue, and Thomas Fisher would be convicted of Powell's murder and hanged in 1878. Morgan Powell's grave stands today in Memorial Park, one of the few graves of the former Presbyterian cemetery that was left standing when the cemetery was converted to a public park in 1972. Peace eventually returned to Summit Hill once the Molly's supposed reign of terror came to an end. As with most other coal region towns, each ethnic group that settled in Summit Hill would build their own churches, and soon the mountain had countless parishes spring up. The First Presbyterian Church, the Methodist Church, St. Paul's Lutheran Church, St. Philip's Episcopal Church, St. Joseph's Catholic Church, and St. Stanislaus Church were just a few of the houses of worship that would call Summit Hill home over the decades. The corner of Ludlow and Market Street would be known in the early 1980s as the Holy Square, as it was the only intersection in America to have a functional church on each corner. Today, though, only the Hope Christ Presbyterian Church remains an active house of God. By the mid-1870s, Summit Hill residents believed it was time their town had a high school. The first building to serve this function, the Lincoln School, was built in 1875 at the corner of Market and Hazard Streets. It was also for a time the site of Summit Hill's town clock. It would later serve the community's younger students after subsequent high schools were built. Beginning in 1955, it would be the home of the Echo Toy Company for a few years, but was ultimately torn down in 1964. The Lincoln School's replacement as Summit Hill High School was the Washington School, which opened for students in 1911 directly next to the Lincoln School. Built in Renaissance Revival style, it served as town high school through 1927. Today it still stands as an apartment complex. The third and final Summit Hill High School, the Ginner School, opened its doors on November 26, 1927. It would operate until 1963, when Summit Hill High School was merged into the Panther Valley School District. The Ginner School burned down the night of April 14, 1971. Ginner Field, however, where Summit Hill High School Hillers football teams played, and where one of the nation's first cable TV antennas was installed, still stands today.
My name's Jackson. Looks like it's sunny tomorrow.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.